Okay, buckle up, Emmerdale fans. Let's talk about the delicious chaos that John Sugden has brought to our screens. For what feels like an eternity, we've watched this sinister medic weave his web of murder, assault, and poison. And honestly, sometimes it felt like we were pulling our hair out waiting for him to finally get what's coming to him. We all know the drill with long-running soap villains, right? They commit atrocity after atrocity, and we're left wondering how on earth they haven't been caught yet. John has been a prime example, making blunder after blunder, like seriously, using Nate's phone and having it traced back to the village. Come on, John. It's almost like he wants to get caught, but then the folks of Emmerdale just keep on fawning. And that's where the frustration really set in. We've seen characters we love act completely out of character just to keep John's narrative afloat. Remember how bizarrely eager everyone involved in Anthony's murder cover-up was to let John keep the body's whereabouts a secret? Or when John literally blocked Belle from investigating Nate's disappearance. There's only so much naivety a person can take before it gets tiresome, even for the most dedicated soap fan. It felt like the storyline was just treading water, waiting for a lifeline. The return of a legend, Robert Sugden changes everything. And then, like a knight in shining, slightly rebellious armor, Robert Sugden burst back onto the scene. Suddenly, the entire dynamic shifted. For the first time in years, we got an episode focusing purely on the iconic Sugden dynasty, and honestly, it felt like a breath of fresh air. Robert's return wasn't just about bringing back a fan favorite. It was about injecting a much-needed dose of reality and a fresh perspective into John's increasingly unbelievable saga. As an outsider to John's twisted games, and with his deep-rooted connection to the village and more importantly, its residents, Robert immediately started shaking things up. We saw key changes in the people we care about most, and it was glorious. Aaron's awakening, from docile to daring. Let's talk about Aaron Dingle. Oh, Aaron. We've watched him, almost unrecognizably docile and oblivious, seemingly choose new husband John over the ghost of his past with Robert. He even tried to push Robert away, insisting he leave him alone. But the subtext, it screamed that Aaron was in denial. Remember that impulsive decision to report Robert to the police? A desperate attempt to get rid of temptation. And that old photograph, lingering in his wallet, it spoke volumes. The emotion was practically etched onto his face. In a matter of minutes, Aaron was no longer the docile background presence we'd been forced to watch. He was waking up, transforming back into the shrewd, animated person we know and love. Whether he ends up with Robert or not, it's undeniable that Robert's presence, and just one nostalgic conversation about their rich, shared history, sparked this incredible reawakening. It was pure magic to witness. Victoria's stand, no longer a passive bystander. And then there's Victoria Sugden. For too long, Vic felt relegated to the role of passive bystander, or at best, rolling her eyes at Robert's mere existence. But not anymore. She refused to abandon her big brother. She sharply and so satisfyingly called out John's hateful comments against Robert. And then that frank, sassy chat with Aaron. It felt like stepping back in time to their old dynamic, a reminder of the strong, independent woman Vic truly is. This is a massive, promising indication that Victoria is about to play a crucial, instrumental role in the coming months, and we are here for it. The chemistry between Ryan Hawley, Robert, Isabel Hodgins, Victoria, and Danny Miller Aaron in these game-changing scenes was absolutely electric. And let's not forget Oliver Farnworth's compelling performance as John. He truly paved the way for some truly engaging aftermath, making us even more invested in John's eventual downfall. Unraveling John's past, the imposter theory. One of the most refreshing aspects of Robert's return is that he's asking the questions we've all been screaming at our screens. Who is John? And how well does Victoria really know him? Apart from his vague army career and the all-too-brief mention of his ex-turned victim, Aidan Moore, we know virtually nothing about John's past. It's only now that someone is finally pointing out the possibility that he might not even be a genuine relative. Ryan Hawley himself hinted at it in an interview, saying, "I'm not even sure Robert's 100% sure he's his brother, is he?" And let's not forget Robert's pointed accusation that John likes to steal other people's lives. While he was clearly referring to John marrying his beloved Aaron, soaps are masters of foreshadowing, And the idea of John being revealed as an imposter is a tantalizing possibility. Imagine the fireworks. Even if he is a genuine Sugden, at least there's now some relevance to the fact that he bears the surname, something he initially wasn't even keen on. For months his bond with Vic felt forced, materializing out of nowhere. Now, with Robert taunting John about their late father, Jack, whose retconned role has been frustratingly glossed over, we might finally gain some insight into John's thoughts on his heritage. This can only make his character richer and more complex. A battle of wits. John meets his match. Through his tense showdown with Robert, John became infinitely more interesting, a far cry from the lackluster personality he'd been exhibiting between his deadly deeds. Oliver Farnworth absolutely matched Ryan Hawley line for line in their alter egos' war of words. The dark threats dished out have us on the edge of our seats, expecting the gloves to truly come off once suspicious Robert is back where he belongs. We've seen the classic brotherly feud before with Robert and Andy, but the beauty of Robert versus John is the constantly shifting power dynamic. We saw it perfectly demonstrated in this episode. Robert is still unaware of John's deadly syringe, but that looks set to change next week. And honestly, we can't wait. But John, oh John, he doesn't know the half of what super schemer Robert is capable of, from gunpoint drama to kidnapping. Just like that, John has met his match, and the stakes have never been higher. In one absolutely enticing, single-strand installment, Emmerdale has masterfully fixed what we've been craving from John's reign of terror. They've turned the entire storyline on its head, giving us hope, excitement, and a renewed sense of anticipation. What do you think will happen next in this epic showdown?